Welcome to Book Crew. We are on KCCC 9:30 a.m. in Carlsbad, New Mexico on Mondays at noon. We're available on YouTube and Rumble under the Task Force Geek banner. And by the time you hear this, we'll be on every major podcast aggregator out there. I am writer and marketing Jedi Dirk Hooper, and I'm joined as always by author and editor Beth A. Freely. How are you doing, Beth?
I'm doing good, Dirk. How are you today?
I'm doing good. I had a big success last night that you know about. I finally got my ebook formatted after much hair pulling. I don't have hair, but if I had hair, I would be pulling it.
So your beard's a little shorter today.
Right, exactly. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, your beard's a little shorter.
What an epic journey that silly thing was. You said that you had something that you wanted to cover today. Let me throw it to you.
So I don't know if you saw, but Angel Nix, our first guest, and Patricia Bates, who's also been on the show, is running a shared world series. I think Patricia is the one that's actually running it, but it's it's kind of like a military and police kind of shared world series, kind of agent kind of thing. And I told them today, I said, as long as I don't have to put it out until next year, I'll jump into it. So I am jumping.
Oh, you're
into
doing
the
it.
Star series. I am. My character, the one that I'm writing, he's not military, not police. He's one of the, as they put it, the other people, the ghosts, because he's former Yakuza.
Cool.
And he's the one that comes in and helps train the new agents and everything. So yeah, I decided to go ahead and join that. And
okay, that's new news to me.
Yeah. Yep, I decided to do that one. So as long as it's like I told Angel, I said I can't do anything until next year. 2025 is booked up. I can't take on anything else for 2025.
So this is, from what I can see on this thing, and correct me if this is just my impression, it's military and thriller romance.
Yep.
So what would be something that would be similar to that in books or media or that you can think of? Because it's not like Castle.
No,
right?
it's kind of like Tom Clancy. If Tom Clancy wrote romance novels, is about is what I can think of.
That is a strange combination. I have never heard of that.
If Tom Clancy could write romance novels, that's what it would be. I've seen it before. If you remember Finley Brown when she was on Task Force Geek, these are similar to what Finley writes.
Okay,
are these kind of thriller? Well,
this may be a genre that I'm not familiar with. I feel like if I could maybe wrap my head around it, that I consume and have several stories set in that world, in that sort of genre and stuff. I might be interested in it too. I've been looking at it. I just can't seem to. I need to read something on it to see kind of how they meld those two together.
The original series that I was going to do, the collaborative, was something similar, where I took like agents and military and spies from all different areas and put them into one group. And that's the one that I'm replacing with the Iron Syndicate instead. So I could still cut my teeth on that kind of military spy agent romance kind of thing, writing a story in the Star series. And everything. So that's I kind of decided, you know what, I'll go ahead and do it. They were still looking for a couple of more authors. I just said,
I saw that. I saw
can't
they were
do
looking.
it until, I said, I can't publish anything until next year.
And I thought,
I'm tapped out for 2025.
I know all about, spy stuff. And I read Tom Clancy style stuff.
Yeah. I love Clancy.
So I know the genre well, but there's rarely any romance in it. It's all just a bunch of, fighting terrorists and stuff.
So, but yeah, that's my news. Is that
I guess you could call James Bond that. I mean, there's some romance in that, I suppose.
There's romance in Bond. There's actually a lot more romance in Bond than most people realize.
There is in Reacher as well.
If you actually sit down,
Jack Reacher always
as well. So
has a romantic interest.
The same style. Yeah,
it's just you move it kind of more to the forefront.
Yeah, in the books we move it to the forefront.
All right. Well, look, I'm fascinated by that. I really want to talk more about it, but I think it's time to get to our guest. What do you think?
Let's get Kelly on. She's got some interesting things to talk about. She's got some interesting books.
For sure. All right. Well, Kelly O'Hearn is the author of the acclaimed Arcanum series of novels, a sweeping time-bending multi-book saga channeled through tarot cards. Inspired by her own past life readings, O'Hearn weaves together multiple storylines of a powerful woman persevering across lifetimes in the quest for love, destiny, and self-discovery. Born in New York City, O'Hearn put her intuitive skills to work as a professional wine taster, instructor, and sommelier. After raising 2 children and overcoming a personal health crisis, she discovered the tarot, building a global clientele spanning every continent except Antarctica. So, Kelly O'Hearn, welcome to Book Crew.
Well, hello. Thank you.
Hey, you'll get Antarctica. There's people out there. You'll get it.
I'll get what?
You'll get Antarctica one of these days. You'll get a client from Antarctica.
A visiting scientist or somebody. I'll get it eventually.
Yep, you'll get there.
They have a lot of free time on their hands. I mean,
I would think so.
Then some, yeah.
Please tell us about your experience and connection with tarot.
Oh, it's just been amazing. Your introduction was so kind, so thank you. And I discovered the tarot at a time which you would phrase, a very common phrase these days, is a dark night of the soul. My dark night of the soul chapter led me to find something that I could tether myself to that was outside of the realm of all the chaos going around me. And unbeknownst to me, when I discovered it, of course I knew and heard of tarot, but I'd never ever had a reading before. I'd never seen a tarot card experienced, done. But I just dove into this language like you would French or Mandarin or anything else, because it is at the end of the day a language. It's just a divination language. But as I healed my life, the tarot helped me heal myself. So it's become a trusted friend, quite, like it's inanimate as an object, but it's one of my greatest confidants.
Very cool. How did your discovery of tarot lead to you writing the Arcanum series?
Well, as I grew my tarot experience and knowledge, and when I started to finally, because I kept it a secret from everybody for over 3 years. This was just between me. Yeah, this was just between me and me for three and a half years. So when I finally came out of what I phrased the tarot closet, and everybody wanted a reading, and I decided eventually to form a business. Like I should be charging for this because it was becoming so popular. But before I felt comfortable asking for money in return for a reading, I dipped my toe into experiences with astrologers, with psychics, with numerologists, Enneagram, all these different people, how they ran their business. And one thing I did was a past life regression. It was that experience with my past life regression that led me along the tarot to develop my series.
So yeah, let's talk about past life regression. What is that process like?
Well, I think it varies depending upon the practitioner and the professional that you are engaged with. But my experience was with a world-renowned woman, and she took me into, or she channeled, basically. She has a sense of where the soul has been, and she told me, where this karmic lesson that I'm undergoing and wrapping up in this lifetime, apparently. We'll see. But there's so many different ways to do it. Some people do it through hypnosis and actually go back and are taken so far back in hypnosis that they revert into the past life and into that incarnation that they experienced. So there are a lot of different modalities that you can use in order to tap into your past lives.
And so how did you take that and turn it into the Arcanum series?
It was really a function of boredom because in
Oh, there
2020,
you go. Okay.
in 2020, when we were all housebound with COVID and the pandemic, it was April 17th of 2020. I'll never forget it. And a dear friend of mine and this just decided, let's channel these supposed past lives that I have had. And the one thing I want to mention here, because it's really pivotal to the themes of the book, is the karmic lesson I am in. Is she told me I've had all my recent past lives are I have been a woman in the company of very powerful men, but never as the wife, always as the mistress or the muse or some sort of influential female figure. And that's really funny, because that's not the story in this lifetime, except for the soulmate love component. But in any event, so I found that kind of intriguing, a little disturbing, but more intriguing than disturbing. And so that was the premise for which I used the cards to figure out, who was this mistress? Who was this mystic? Who was this muse? And who were these men that I served?
Interesting. Very interesting. I just took a note. You're one of the many people, we've talked to quite a few people here on Book Crew, in kind of rapid succession. And I think it's fascinating how many people's origin story for writing or art or some sort of creative endeavor starts during COVID. I think that was I think that was like an earth shattering moment in history where suddenly all of this creative energy was released during this kind of dark time.
Well, Dirk, I agree, because creative energy has such force and power to it. But unless you're put up against a barrier, we were bored or we felt afraid, whatever it was that is the motivator behind it. I think you're right. I think it just popped the lid off of a lot of people's soda can and everybody just erupted out.
I know it popped the lid off of mine. I hadn't published anything since 2015.
Oh my God.
COVID hit. And I was just sitting there bored out of my wits. And I was like, I couldn't go shoot pool on the pool leagues that I was on, couldn't go hang out with my friends, couldn't go out to dinner. And I was like, okay, time to start writing again. And then my publisher closed at the end of 2019. So I said, okay, so the first two books that I had out, that's when I turned around and republished them. And then got the third and fourth book out, and I've been on a roll ever since. I say to people, COVID was great for me because it made me refocus on what I was doing with my life and getting back to my passion.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Yeah. And I discovered a passion. Like I've never had an aspiration to be a writer. If anything, I was a science math kid in school. So yeah.
Well, tell us about the Arcanum series. What's it about? And tell us about both books.
So the Arcanum series really is the story of the protagonist is a woman. And she lives in New York City, which is, you kind of write about what you know. And I grew up there. In modern day times, it's 2020. Well, it would have been 2024 because the first book came out in 2024. But and it's her 40th birthday. And so you follow her and 4 other main characters. Now, because of the past life component, we need to think of these characters as souls, even though they also are characters. So those 5 souls travel through time and space together, constantly uniting in different timelines, all in service to getting our protagonist, her name is Sarah, to embrace true love. From and for herself, and then from her soulmate.
That's
and cool. I channeled 8 past lives of mine that I'm on this cycle, but I'm writing only about 6 of them. So I plan to do a 6-book series.
Oh wow,
nice.
So you've got multiple lifetimes, and they're connected. How do you keep track of all of that?
Oh God, Dirk, you're so bringing me back to an anxious time. And like 2022, it's like, how do you tell this story? So the way I decided to do it is that each book, the modern day timeline, the New York City timeline, is in every book. And in each novel, about a year to 14 months elapses with these 5 characters. But you'll go through at the same time an entire past life. And you'll see overlays of themes and things that are going on that are similar in the past life that she's struggling with in the present modern day timeline. So the first book, for instance, was
Cool.
The Past Life of Ancient Egypt. My newest book, which book 2, Whispers in the Forest, is the past life in Renaissance France. But the New York lifetime, that was a fun one. The New York lifetime is the common thread in every book.
Interesting. So please name the books again and tell people where they can get the books.
Happy to. So as you mentioned, the series is Arcanum, and the first book is In the Temple Shadows. And then book 2, which was launched in 2025, is Arcanum, Whispers in the Forest. And they're both available ebook, paperback, and hardback on Amazon, as well as barnesandnoble.com, target.com, a lot of your major booksellers online.
Very cool.
Yeah.
If you had to pick one tarot card to represent the soul of the Arcanum series, what would it be?
God, that's a great question. I love this question. I would have to say the Strength card. It's
nice.
Nice. Yeah, Strength. The Strength card is a major arcana in the tarot, which just means it's a very high thematic, powerful energy. But it's about endurance. It's about lasting, staying power and overcoming obstacles and knowing you can tame the beast within you, the beast being our inner child, our shadow, our wounds, whatever you want to call it, and live to fight another day.
Very cool. That's a great answer to that question.
So I have one real quick.
Sure.
Is there any particular tarot deck that you prefer to use? Do you have a favorite?
Yes. Well, yes. The deck that I used to channel the series back in 2020 it's called the Illuminati deck.
Okay.
And I think all I did, Beth, is when I channeled this, I only used the major arcana. I took out the first 22 cards of the deck, and that's what gave me the overall idea of where I was in the timeline of human history and the dynamic between my soul, or the protagonist's soul, and the rest of the characters in that lifetime. And then I used the minor arcana from that same deck to flesh out the rest of the story. And it's interesting because I have all of this. I did it all through Zoom, so it's all recorded. I have over 40 hours of recording.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah,
that
it's
would
really
be really
cool.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of great content.
Have you ever heard of using a tarot card deck to do character creation for writers?
I can't say that I have, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's been done before. I'm the only one that and in the research I did that is saying that I've channeled this novel through the tarot, because it literally has all been channeled through the tarot. But the tarot is a divination tool of what it is to have a human experience, and it's a divination tool that helps you understand archetypes, personalities, characters, and characteristics. So
conflict.
I feel, and conflict, all of it. Just the human experience, right? So I feel quite confident that there are other people that have used the tarot in order to get inspiration for their creative projects.
You describe tarot as a language of energy. Can you explain what that means for someone who's unfamiliar with the cards?
Of course. So like any language, obviously language gives meaning through words. And understanding and meaning to things around you, between two people. The tarot, by its very design, is a language of, like I said, the human experience. And the 4 suits in the deck represent the 4 parts of humanity: physical, mental, emotional, and most people would call it spiritual. So the way the cards fall forms a narrative. It forms a sentence. And that's why we're called readers, is because we interpret the sentence, the language on the table. And it's very important. The order of the cards, all of that changes the meaning. Like the word blue, I can say, oh, I'm wearing a blue sweater, but I could also say, I feel blue. Same word, different meaning.
Right.
That's the same thing that happens in the tarot.
Very cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I've worked with tarot, so that actually really makes a lot of sense.
Since we're on the subject, I pulled out my tarot card deck.
Yes. Ooh, nice one. Ooh, beautiful.
Nice.
It's called the Cosmic Slumber Tarot. I just liked the artwork and the kind of the vibe of it.
See,
Cosmic
mine
Slumber.
is the deck that I use when I do readings is the Dragon Tarot, which is currently sleeping in the bedroom at the moment. But yeah, I'm a huge dragon lover, and when I first saw that tarot deck, I was like, I need that deck. I need that deck.
That must be a really powerful deck. Yeah,
it is. It's a very powerful deck. It's the only deck. I have multiple decks, but that is the only one I will read with.
I love it.
It's the most accurate deck I've used too. Yeah. I also use the other deck that I also use to read with, which is a little different, is the Egyptian Cartouche. The Egyptian Cartouche deck. So that's my other favorite. Yeah.
Amazing. No, it's amazing how bonded you can get to these decks. Like I said, they're inanimate objects, but they really they don't blow smoke up your skirt, right? It's going to tell you like it is, whether you want to hear it or not. So it really becomes like a trusted, reliable source of self-awareness.
Yeah.
How do you stay motivated to write and hit your goals? I mean, you say you've got one book that's out and one book that's about to come out, and that you have 4 more in the series. So tell us a little bit about your scheduling and hitting your goals.
Of course. So it's really interesting because I developed this the way I did, because I channeled it through the lens of my own soul. The entire story is already, quote unquote, it exists. It's already created. So now I have to go back and obviously put the framework of language and dialogue and, and a book to it.
Right.
But I experienced it. I had visceral responses. So it lives within me. So it's easy. I can sit down and just get into the zone, and write for hours and just get it all done. For right now, for instance, I've started book 3, which is the Vatican story from the Inquisition era. And it's the darker, it's the first really dark story.
That's an error. That is an error. Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
That is an error.
But I do a lot. I'm a disciplined person, and I have a full-time job with my tarot readings. So I do try to set aside Tuesdays and Thursdays for writing days, especially at least in the morning, when I'm a morning person. So I'm freshest in the morning. I'm not a night owl. But I will find that because it lives in me already, I can just sit down at the computer, and I have yet to have any writer's block or anything, because it's coming through me. It's not coming from me.
Right.
So it's an important distinction. And I'm sure you both have been in that zone as creators.
Sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great feeling. Oh my God.
What is your writing process like? So do you have apps that you use, or do you write on a notebook, or how do you get from nothing to the finished product?
I write on my laptop on Google Docs. And I write consecutively. I start at the beginning and I finish with the end. And then of course I can go back and edit and stuff, but I write exactly in order. I don't go to a future scene or anything.
I do too. The only time I will jump to a future scene is if that scene is just will not leave me alone no matter what. Then I'll write it and stick it in the document where it's supposed to go, and then just keep on going. But for the most part, I'm the same way. It's consecutive.
Yeah. But I will say, because my books involve 2 lifetimes, there's the current day life, and then there's the past life. I do write those separately. So I write beginning to end of the past life, and then I go and write beginning to end of the current life. And then I marry the chapters and stuff
meld them
together.
together.
Yes.
Nice. Interesting. I like that.
Does that make for a lot of editing work, kind of on the back end?
You know what, Dirk, I can't answer that because I don't have anything to compare it to. I've only written 2 novels, so my editing, my relationship with my editor has been, really efficient and seamless. But I can't say that it's harder or easier than other people's experience. The only thing that gets really tricky is keeping all the dates straight.
Yeah.
Because that involves a lot of math. You're like, all right, wait a minute.
You said you were good at math.
I am good at math, but when you're dealing with time and different timelines, it's like, all right, wait, 3 years went by. Are we sure we're in the right year? All that stuff. So.
Yeah, I have a very small story, and I started getting all kinds of issues with time, where I had to go back after the fact. Matter of fact, while I was writing the second book in the series, I had to go back and figure out my timeline for the first book, because I realized, I can't just freewheel this. I have to know exactly what's going on here, whether there are days that have passed or weeks or months. In what I've written is nowhere near as complex as what you're writing. I mean, you really have to have a handle on stuff, with your timeline.
Yeah. And I have to say, I have great collaborators and people, beta readers, like all of that. So, it works out really well to have, intelligent, trusted eyes on it as well.
Yeah. Beta readers are so helpful on these things.
Yeah, totally.
You have a lot of great reviews on your first book. What do you think resonates with people so strongly about your book?
Well, I think, if you're especially a woman, I will say, because the protagonist is a woman, this is going to appeal to mature women because it's her 40th birthday, but it does resonate with, we have a lot of 20-something readers, but it's just the story of what every person goes through when they reach a certain point in their life and they stop and they think, is this all there is? Is this who I want to be? Is this what I want for my life? And be it a relationship, be it work, be it your relationship with your body, it doesn't matter what that looks like, but it's a really, really important moment. I think it used to be phrased quite typically as a midlife crisis.
Yeah.
But I think now a lot of people are embracing it as just an opportunity to reassess, and you will grow and you will change. That is the one thing I can promise you. And a lot of people resonate with that in the story for sure. Plus, it's just a fun read. It's just a fun, exciting escapism read.
It also sounds different than, anything that I've heard of. It has a unique, you're kind of in a unique genre, I think.
I know, it's really a bugger when you have to, as a self-published author, figure out categories and keywords for Amazon in order to push the book. Because I'm not a romance. I'm not a classic romance book. This is more like a mature woman romance book, but midlife romance. But then there's the paranormal aspect of the past lives and the mystical realism. So it's really, really an interesting genre. And I will say what's unique to my books is that they do need to be read in order. They are not standalone books. They could be, but you'll be confused in the modern day story if you haven't read the previous book or two. So it is truly a series.
I don't have any connections with Netflix, but Beth does. This sounds like this would be a great Netflix series.
Oh, it would be. It would be.
Oh, it would be a sweeping saga for sure. It would be amazing. Yeah. All the different timelines, all the different aspects, because the 5 souls, the 5 characters are what every good hero's journey story has. Of course, there's the heroine, her soulmate,
right?
The best friend who's a male. There's the villain soul. And then there's the other female soul who's really the soul that we all hope to evolve to one day. And they share these lifetimes together. So you really get attached to them as a soul and to their characters in each timeline.
I don't want to let you get out of here without asking you about what it's like to be a professional wine taster.
That was such a blast.
We got to bring up the wine.
Oh, absolutely. So I started that right out of college, and I worked in wine for all of my 20s into my early 30s. And I was a wine educator. I was a professional wine taster. I would judge wine tasting contests. I worked for collectors. I worked for, families that owned wineries and vineyards all around the world. So I traveled the world.
Wow.
It was an incredible, you know what I love the best about it is everyone in the wine business is really intelligent, really savvy, but very down to earth. And they just love they just love conversation, good food, good wine. It doesn't have to be expensive, just have it be good, So the people were fabulous.
Okay, so you're in New York. You're in New York, right?
I'm now in Florida. I live in Florida now, but I spent my entire life in New York. Okay,
so Brotherhood Winery, is that one you know?
Brotherhood. Is it up in upstate New York or out on Long Island? Upstate.
Yes,
I do not know that one.
Upstate. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Worth looking into.
Yeah, they have a holiday wine that I used to remember my parents getting every year. And it tastes like if you took a mincemeat pie and put it into a liquid. It's an awesome, it's an awesome wine. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It was the Brotherhood Holiday. Yeah. Yep. Still one of my favorites. Hard to get a hold of.
Yeah. I'll look for it next time I'm in New York.
Kelly, what's next for you?
It's good stuff.
What's next for me? Well, as I mentioned, I've started book 3. And as a teaser, that is the Vatican Past Life, where this heroine soul becomes the muse to the Pope and it's the Inquisition. It's kind of a dark time in the church, in church history. But so I'm working on that. And also, just connecting with my clients almost every day. I do tarot readings almost all day, every day. So
is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
That's
I'm booked,
awesome.
I'm booked about 4 to 5 weeks in advance. And I don't market my work, and you have to know that I'm out there and know someone that knows about me to find out about me. But now your listeners all know about me, so I welcome them.
Everybody knows about you now.
I love it.
The secret's out.
Yes.
Is there anything else that you'd like to add, or something that we didn't talk about that you'd like to get in?
No, this has been such a wonderful conversation. I so appreciate those great questions, because I can't tell you what that one question about which tarot card resonates with the series, with the whole creation of Arcanum, because that really, I felt that one deeply. So thank you.
Wow. That's amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. Well, I'm going to run the banner with where people can find you, but for all of the people who are listening, please tell them where they can find you and your books.
I have a website, arcanumtheseries.com, where you can learn all about the series, the release dates, things like that. Instagram is Kelly O'Hearn Author, and TikTok. And I offer free tarot readings, readings of the week, the zodiac every month. So you can tune in if you're interested in things like that. And then my tarot work is under KELLYOH.life. If you would ever be interested in booking a reading, that's the one place you can do it, through the website.
That's awesome. I'm going to try to find you. Do you have a Facebook account?
Facebook, I believe, is under Arcanum, just Arcanum.
Okay. I want to invite you to our Book Crew podcast group.
Oh, good.
If you'd like to be on there.
Please.
I'd love to keep up with you and what you're doing and everything else.
Yes.
And you can you can promote the heck out of anything you want on there. We encourage everyone to get on there, and we invite our guests to join that. And it's at Book Crew Podcast on Facebook.
I will do that when we're done. I'll go on Facebook and join.
Please do. Make it because I like to share stuff. So if you share things on there, or I see you on there, I will
share it.
Yeah, both of us, and it seems like the group is pretty good about sharing stuff too. So it's a good opportunity to kind of get yourself out there and get shared kind of among the author community.
Oh, thank you both. That's a great opportunity.
Kelly, thanks for being on today. We sure appreciate it.
Oh, I so enjoyed it. So thank you both. I had a great time.
Awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. We'll have you back again.
I look forward to it.
I already put a panel idea up in our little calendar.
You did?
Yes.
Like while we're talking? What the heck?
While we were talking, and I made a note to make sure we have Kelly back on there. I am.
Awesome.
It's scary.
That's awesome.
Wonderful.
Yeah. All right, Beth, we'll tell everyone where they can find you.
Hey, you can find me on my website at BethAnnFreely, BethanFreely.com if you're looking for my books. If you are looking for editing services, website services, book trailer services, you can find me at the Muses, MUSES, funhouse.com. You can also find me in the usual social media haunts, X, Twitter, Instagram at B.A. Freely, and you can find me on Facebook at Beth A. Freely. And if you forget all of that, just go to my link tree at B.A. Freely, and you'll find all of those links there.
You can find me at Writeworks. That's WRITEWORKS.dirkhooper.com. You can also find me at the Muses Funhouse. I'm on X at Dirk Hooper Plus, and I'm on Facebook.com at Dirk.Hooper. And you can find me pretty much everywhere else, but be careful where you look, because some places are adults only. Before we go, I want to say that Beth A. Freely is offering editing and book trailer services, and I'm offering author branding and social media management at themusesfunhouse.com. And as I was talking about before, I'd like to invite everyone to join and participate on our new Book Crew Facebook group. You can get updates about the show, insight from working authors, including Beth and me, and post about your own book projects. It's facebook.com/group/Book Crew Podcast. Join and tell your author friends. Thanks to guest Kelly O'Hearn. For Beth A. Freely, I'm Dirk Hooper saying, dream hard.